10 Strongest Booked Wrestlers in WWE Today. Number 10. Baron Corbin. Though Baron Corbin's win-loss record has been spotty lately, he remains one of SmackDown's most imposing wrestlers. He overturned his WrestleMania 33 loss to Dean Ambrose in a street fight just 2 days later, and while he technically lost to AJ Styles twice on consecutive weeks, one was a count-out, and the other a lucky sunset flip, both of which protect the Lone Wolf. Corbin has made huge improvements since joining the main roster, and is starting to feel like a genuine top-tier threat. Number 9. Samoa Joe. A few weeks ago, Samoa Joe would have occupied a loftier position on the countdown. Debuting him as Triple H's Destroyer gave Joe an instant jolt of momentum, and this has continued in the ring. Joe is 6-1 in singles matches since graduating from NXT, and even has a win over Roman Reigns to his name. Joe feels just as important to Raw as he did to NXT, and his brutal, ruthless character has lost nothing in translation. Number 8. The Hardy Boys. WWE's tag divisions haven't exactly been treated with the greatest care in 2017, but Matt and Jeff Hardy have been flying since returning at WrestleMania 33. Their surprise appearance garnered the pop of the night in Orlando, and the duo have looked excellent since then, with their most recent triumph coming through a successful Raw Tag Team title defense at Payback. Number 7. Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura has become one of SmackDown's most over wrestlers by barely lifting a finger. His appearances since joining the main roster have been kept low-key, but that's the point. WWE are teasing the audience by offering the smallest glimpses of Nakamura's talents, gradually escalating every week until he finally steps into the ring later this month at Backlash. Number 6. Alexa Bliss. She might not be the most complete in-ring performer on WWE's women's roster, but nobody has a stronger character than Alexa Bliss. Her facial expressions, promos, and all-round attitude are exponentially more impressive than anyone else in the division, and when her actual wrestling skills catch up, we'll be looking at one of the most complete women's wrestlers of all time. Alexa is comfortably the most important women's wrestler on Monday nights. Number 5. Brock Lesnar. At WrestleMania 33, Brock Lesnar finally shook Bill Goldberg from his back and became WWE Universal Champion for the first time. The Beast is back, and while there'll always be debate over his status as a part-time champion, his reign will at least bring some much-needed prestige to the belt. There are very few wrestlers you can say that about these days, and for as long as Brock wants to be a wrestler, WWE will book him like Raw's biggest star. Number 4. Neville. Until about 6 months ago, Neville's name would have featured highly on a list of WWE's worst booked wrestlers. Barely featuring throughout 2016, he'd regularly miss weeks of television at a time, and was a million miles away from where he is today. Payback was Neville's first singles loss since October, and while most of his best work takes place on a show with a limited audience, his push can't be denied. He's not just 205 Live's strongest booked wrestler, but one of the companies as a whole, and he's showing no sign of slowing down either. Number 3. AJ Styles. No matter where AJ Styles is positioned on the card, he always feels like a huge deal. The Phenomenal One had an incredible debut year with WWE, and while his WWE Championship run is over, his status hasn't dwindled at all. As one of the best wrestlers in the world, AJ produces outstanding matches like it's nothing, routinely gets the night's biggest crowd reactions, and is treated like SmackDown's top dog no matter who he faces. While the Orton vs. Mahal nonsense drags the WWE title down, AJ will help elevate the US belt to exciting new levels. If he wins it, it'll likely become SmackDown's top title by default, regardless of the company line. Number 2. Roman Reigns. Nothing can derail the Roman Reigns train, and for as long as Vince McMahon is around, the big dog shall be Raw's primary focus. Though his push isn't as overbearingly dominant as John Cena's was, major opportunities will be thrown at Reigns for the duration of his career, and when he loses, there'll usually be a convenient excuse for it. No matter how negative Roman's crowd reactions get, there's no evidence to suggest WWE will ever sway their course. Number 1. Braun Strowman. WWE have found the perfect monster in Braun Strowman. Previous attempts at pushing wrestlers in this role haven't always gone to plan despite Vince McMahon's fondness for giants, but he has struck gold with the former Wyatt family man, who has improved at an alarming rate. Strowman is WWE's most consistently well-booked wrestler, and with a Universal title shot against Brock Lesnar supposedly on the horizon, things will continue that way for the foreseeable future. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.